So I like to call this my homemaking binder. It's just an old binder I had in college, and it's got a schedule in it that I don't follow that I made for myself. One day maybe I'll follow it. I want to make some sandwich loaves today out of my sourdough discard, and I also want to make some soft pretzels today out of my sourdough discard. Me and my husband actually use them for work lunches and stuff, and even breakfast, because we just slice them and make sandwiches out of the pretzel. I've tried making pretzel buns out of them before because, you know, it's easier to shape a roll shape than the pretzel with the twists. But he said it was very hard to get through. They are very soft, really yummy pretzels, but they will obviously only keep for like 3 or 4 days, so you need to refrigerate or freeze them, and they got tough once we refrigerate or froze them. By the way, I hear all the time that people freeze their homemade bread and like sandwich loaves, and it doesn't work for us. It gets so dry and crumbly that it's not even worth it. So that stinks, but I don't know, what can you do? That one makes 3 loaves though. Do I have one that makes 1? I do have one that makes 1. The problem with my one that makes just 1 loaf though is it's not enough for it's a KitchenAid mixer recipe, or just a stand mixer recipe. The 1 loaf doesn't fill the bowl up enough for the dough hook to grab it good and for it to actually start kneading it and mixing it together. Okay, so this lighting is much better for y'all. Let's see if we can get this in. Let's get my scale out. It's a little bit dirty. It'll be alright. I'm gonna flip this up. Okay. So this is actually my sourdough starter. I haven't fed her yet today. Her name is Dolene. She doesn't smell too strong today, so that's good. That means she's not overly hungry. I'm gonna measure straight into this bowl on my scale and then just pop it in the mixer. Okay, so let's tare it. Okay, so I need 300 grams of discard. A little much. A little bit. Always have to wipe the edge of the container out, off, so it doesn't get gross. I'm actually gonna leave my discard out because I will likely need it for the whatchamacallit, pretzels. Okay, so I need 750 grams of water. I'll probably add a little bit less than 750 grams just because the discard went over by about 17 grams. So 1,500 grams of bread flour or all-purpose. Shoot. I forgot that for my birthday, my mom actually bought me a grain mill to attach to the KitchenAid. I haven't used one yet at all. I've never used a grain mill in my life. I do have some wheat that if I wanted to, I could grind up, but I don't know if it would be enough for all 3 loaves, so I'm just not even going to worry about it today. I'll take time maybe tonight or another day to just kind of experiment with it and get a feel for it. So I think I'm just going to use my unbleached all-purpose flour. Okay, So we need 1,500 grams of that. Perfect. We don't add anything else for right now. There are like 4 more ingredients that are pretty simple, but the recipe says to mix it together and then add those ingredients. Mix it together, let it sit for 30 minutes, excuse me, and then add the other ingredients in. So well. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all it mixing together. So I'll have to let it sit for 30 minutes and then I'll add the other ingredients. All right, y'all. So it has been 30 minutes. I went ahead and had lunch. I'm gonna wait for the dough to rise before I change into real clothes. It's formed into a dough now, and it's time to add the other ingredients. There's the dough. All right. So we need to add 30 grams of salt. All right, so there's 30 grams. I don't know if I have 180 grams of already softened butter, but we shall see. I do not. So that's great. Honestly, I think I'm just going to use this and then soften whatever else I need in the microwave. So we're at 16 grams. We need to get it to 180 grams. It's 54. It tells me we need the rest of that. So that's 109. We're at 183 grams. Now I'm like, what am I going to do with this soupy butter stuff? I'll just leave it here and we'll figure that out later. So now, I'm just gonna stack those out the way. I think it's open. Try to get the butter off the side. Okay, so now that has to until it's like a soft smooth dough, and then I have to let it rise for around an hour. Okay, so now we're going to work on the pretzels. I emptied this bowl. Now my bread is rising over here. It's got another one of those cloth bonnets on it. I'm trying to get away from using so much plastic wrap. So we're gonna go ahead and dump everything for the pretzels in this bowl. And actually, the pretzels don't have much that needs measuring. Some of it is in metric and some of it is in the American units, I don't really know what you call it, cups, teaspoons, tablespoons, that kind of thing. Okay, so I need to go ahead and put water, sugar, salt, and yeast, but this time we need active dry yeast. Okay, now we need a teaspoons of salt. It says specifically kosher, but I'm not really sure why. Typically we like to use pink Himalayan salt, but for how much bread I make, I just like to use the plain salt. Plus we have a ton of it, so I'm trying to get through it. Okay, so 2 teaspoons, that's about 2 teaspoons. Active dry yeast. Need 1 packet of it. Okay. Okay, so now that we're going back to the scale with that yeast to make sure it's still in there. Now I need to add 200 grams of discard. Honestly, I'm glad that I decided to do this today because I don't like keeping more than 1 container of discard in the refrigerator at a time. It's kind of a lot to go through. Now I need to add 567 grams of flour. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I will also share this recipe down below so that y'all know what blog to find it at. Because it's not my recipe. Say softened or not softened, but y'all, 4 tablespoons. Oh no, actually it says melted, which is great, because this is what I've got. It's actually already, no, it's still kind of melty. As I say, it already firmed up, but I'm just going to use what I have here, because the block itself is about 4 tablespoons, maybe a little under. So I'm going to add the rest of this. And that is all that I add now. The pretzels have extra steps because, of course, you have to boil water. I don't know exactly where I was, but my phone ran out of storage, not just iCloud storage, but just storage. So I had to go through and delete some pictures, videos, stuff like that. So I don't know how much longer I can do video. So like I said, I don't know where it cut me off. But everything's been added to the pretzel dough. So let me go ahead and mix it all up, just in case it ends up cutting me off again and I don't get to finish this. This is going to rise for an hour after it mixes up. Then I'm back. I took a shower, got dressed, as you can see. So my phone ran out of storage, not just iCloud storage, but actual internal storage. So that took about an hour to fix, and I still don't know if I'm gonna have enough to complete this video, so we'll see. Yeah. Pretzel dough should be done rising. Yeah. And so this is the pretzel dough. So first, and it is clearly risen because now it's trying to touch the top of this, and it is super full. So we're gonna go ahead and divide the bread loaves out. let them rise some more. Okay, so I think I'm going to make 2 sandwich loaves in these tins, and then the rest to make like dinner rolls with. My blood sugar is going low, I can feel it, so I'm gonna get some juice. Okay, that's better. Honestly, I probably didn't need this much butter. Ooh, that looks beautiful. I think I want it to be kind of big. I think I want them to be like, to be able to be used for like sandwich rolls. So I'm just taking them like this and kind of pulling the top down and rolling it and pinching it under so it's tied on top like that. A 1 loaf portion makes about 8 large rolls, and of course these are going to puff up a lot more because I think they have to rise for a whole nother hour or until they get really puffy. For the actual loaves, it says to only let it rise until it's just above the rim of the tin. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna stretch it out, and I'm not that great at this, honestly. I try. That's all I can say. You're supposed to like roll it in and then tighten it with your thumbs, but be delicate at the same time. And as you roll it, it'll even out. And you're kind of pushing those pockets of air out so you don't get any really big bubbles. But this dough doesn't require you to punch it down. This dough is very stretchy, delicate. I think it even has more air bubbles than it did the last time I made it. Now I'm going to cover these and set them out of the way on the other end of the kitchen because I have a I have to set up sort of a station for the pretzels because everything goes kind of pretty fast with the pretzels. So now I've got a pot of water that's going to come to a boil. I'm going to put 2/3 cup of baking soda in it and just let that boil up. I already have my oven preheating to 450 degrees. I'm also going to need an egg yolk and some yummy pretzel salt. Okay, I know it calls for an egg yolk, but I use the whole egg and it does just fine. Just make sure I whisk it really good so that there's no white that gets on the pretzels. It just keeps stacking stuff over there. Need a slotted spoon, and I got this one, I don't know, I might have just gotten it from like the Dollar Tree or something, but it's actually pretty sturdy. I like to use this for getting the pretzels in and out of the water. This is nice, coarse. It's just kosher salt. Honestly, I got the whole thing from the Dollar Tree, and these kind of lids, this came on it, It has really cool pour spout. The lid came on the container from the Dollar Tree, but I just put it in a mason jar. I believe this is a pint size, and then put that lid on it from the container it came with on the mason jar, and it fits perfect. The tea makes 8 pretzels, I believe. Yes, divided to 8 equal pieces. I might have overproofed this, and honestly, I'm really hoping I didn't. But it says double in size, and it definitely doubled in size. Everything that I let proof. What am I trying to say? So the dough, it definitely, each one did take longer than an hour. They probably took around, gosh, like, they probably took around an hour and a half to 2 hours each in my house. So just take that into consideration. This 8 pieces. Now they're not like perfect. I could weigh them out, but honestly, I'm just not. So I want to kind of roll them out into a log. It says a 24-inch log. Y'all, I don't measure. And then you twist it in the center and then stick them down like that. This is my problem. They look beautiful pretzel shaped now, but once I lift them up to put them on the pan, they don't. And they do puff up once they hit the water, because it kind of cooks them a little bit, and then they don't really puff up much more in the oven, I don't think. All right, I'm gonna finish doing all these pretzels, and then I'll show you whenever it's time to plop them in the boiling water. Okay, I really hope y'all will be able to see. I'm gonna go ahead and these are what the pretzels look like. I'm gonna dunk them in, ooh, they're about to slide. I'm gonna dunk them in the water for just a few seconds for each side, and then I'm going to put them back on the cookie sheet and brush them with the egg wash and the salt, and sprinkle the salt on them, and then bake them for how long? About 13 to 15 minutes. I don't know. The only thing I found that works is like picking them up, laying them. Okay, so here are them after they've been in the water. They look a little more yellow now. This pan over here. So now we need to give them a pretty hefty egg wash, because this is what's going to make them nice and brown and shiny. Okay, so before the egg wash starts drying out on me. Ooh. Got the outside of the jar sticky. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some salt in my hand. I don't know if it'll pick up. It's kind of like big granules of sugar is what it reminds me of. And we like them pretty heavy on the salt, because that's kind of what makes a pretzel. Besides that golden skin, it's the salt. So, and a lot of the salt will fall off and kind of soak into it, so you won't really end up with as much salt crystals as you first put on. I just pulled them out of the oven, and they are mighty hot. Y'all can see how much salt stuck, but if y'all keep them for multiple days, like in the fridge, the condensation will kind of dissolve some of the salt. They did puff up a good bit after being in the oven, and overall their shapes are kind of good. These don't have many holes at all, and a couple of shapes turned out perfect, but I love this pretzel recipe, and I think they are so yummy. They're good even just like on the side with dinner. One night we actually made some beer cheese to go with them, and it was amazing. All right, y'all, so the bread is hot. I just rubbed some butter on it to make it all glossy, and it rose quite a bit. I'm having trouble because on one side of the loaves, they'll always puff out weird, but then the other side is fine. So I'm not really sure how to fix that yet, but I'll keep experimenting with it. But that is all. Thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for being here. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.